You sound like, as my daddy would say, you sound mealy mouthed and you sound soft. Okay, we're back again with another episode of Diagnosis Demand with me, Sheba Roy, your brand doctor. Yes, the brand doctor is still in. All right, so this episode we're going to be talking about this. Oh, I'm hungry. This episode we're going to be talking about authority. Not sure if you can read this. This is a you, right? Because what's happening is people are showing up, speaking, talking, presenting themselves, but they don't sound like a leader. You don't sound like an authority figure. You sound like, as my daddy would say, you sound mealy mouthed and you sound soft. We're gonna talk about what it looks like when you aren't being a leader and what it looks like when you are standing in your authority. All right, so let's get into it right now. All right, so here's the problem. Of course, as usual, you're posting, you're showing up, you are trying to get clients and you're like, oh man, nothing's really happening. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I guess I'll just tiptoe out here and say, hey, you should buy my stuff. That's not gonna work. You have to really show up and say with your chest, you should buy my stuff. Because one, if you don't buy my stuff, it's really very much going to seem like you don't want to win. If you want to win, you'll buy my stuff. So as always, here goes our diagnosis. This is not going to be an issue with consistency or posting. This is an issue with your authority. Like maybe the people don't believe you. Remember that saying, we don't believe you, you need more people. Sometimes you need to bring more people, or you need to bring more evidence of you having done the thing that you are selling or saying that you can do, right? Because that's how you build authority. Experience, expertise, and knowledge, and then talking about it, right? A lot of my clients are positioning themselves as an authority in some space. So what we're doing is making sure that they are talking more and that there's more evidence of them being an authority in the space that they're claiming to be an authority in. So this is what it looks like whenever you are not in your authority space and you're not in your leadership bag. Maybe what you say is the same thing that your neighbor said. We talked about this before. You do not want to be a copycat when you are positioning yourself as an authority. You want to show up and you want to have a differentiator, something that sets you apart from the next person. This is so important. Like, you cannot be an authority and you sound just like the next person. You have to be a little bit different. Now, this is going to be controversial, but you have to be controversial. Sometimes you have to go against the grain a little bit in order to position yourself as an authority or a leader. You can't be afraid to say, hey, we don't like this. We don't rock with this. That sometimes is how you can position yourself and be really successful, is you saying, I will be the person that stood up and said, we do not like this at all. Okay, this is not what we do. Here is something that really, really speaks to this. In the body of your captions, when you're using a caption in a post that is for sales, you're not asking for the sale. Nowhere in the post or in the caption do you say, go buy my stuff. Like if you have an event, the words go buy a ticket need to be written somewhere. Make a purchase, book now, call me now for your free reading, whatever it is. Remember how Miss Cleo used to say, call me now for your free reading over and over again? You know what people did? They called her immediately for them readings because she was telling them to do it. So when you're not in a position of authority, you're not in your space and you're being mealy mouthed, as my daddy would say, you're not asking for the sale. You're not telling people how much it costs to work with you. And guess what? They're not spending no money. So this is what it looks like when you've implemented the fix. The fix. The fix. All right, so here's the fix. Stand on business, okay? You have to start showing up in that authority space. Hey, you may not like it, you may not like me, but I said what I said, and I mean what I meant. So you gotta say whatever you think even if it's not popular. You got to be very specific about things. Like you have to come with clear information, clear data, clear answers, clear success metrics, whatever it is. And then you also have to ask for the sale. You have to guide people towards a decision. Like you cannot be lukewarm. You have to either be ice cold or burning hot. Those are the ways that people decide whether or not you mean business. Like, come on. Because honestly, being an authority means that people trust you for your knowledge. They believe that you have done the thing that you say that you do, and they come to you because it feels like you mean business and that they can trust you to help them. So when you do that, you'll actually start making those conversions. The money will start coming in and people will actually believe that you are doing the thing that you say you do. But I know I always go back to this, but it is so true. It's like if you don't think that you are really her or you're really him or you can really do this thing, then it's gonna stop other people also from believing that you do that. So you have to start with maybe making a list. Let's do this. Make a list. So if you can answer these questions, what have I done? So you write out all the things that you've done and you've accomplished. What makes me an expert? Okay. Why should people listen to me? If you can answer those questions and you can really give yourself on a piece of paper the answers to these questions, you should have no more trouble showing up as an authority, because once you see it on the paper, that's the truth. So whatever the imposter syndrome, whatever the lie is that is running in your mind, take that out of there. Get the answers to these questions. I promise you that you can start showing up as an authority, feeling good and confident. So at the end of the day gotta end, but also you don't need to show up more. You need to show up differently. You need to bring more confidence. You need to bring your authority. You need to bring the answers to these questions in your mind and in your heart, so that whenever you show up and you start talking about the thing that you're good at, you believe you and the people believe you. All right, so make sure you follow me at all those places below so that you never miss an episode and that you can stay in the know. All right, bye.